zone. Next update at 5:20 from the michaelsflooringoutlet.com traffic center.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
News, traffic, and the latest on the Redbirds. This is the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
It's Wednesday on the Redbird Rush Hour. Matt Pauley and Kevin Wheeler with you here. Matt Pauley at the ballpark. You got pregame coming your way at 5:50. We'll be done here at 5:45. First pitch at 6:45 tonight. Of course, I'm at our lovely downtown KMOX studios, as you can see if you're watching us on the stream. And if you are watching on the stream, feel free to throw in your comments on anything we're talking about, even if it's not exactly. If it's just in the ballpark of Cardinals-related stuff in September and things we're talking about, you can fire those off in the chat. So if you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, you can definitely do that. And we can mix those things in as we go along until 5:45. What's going on today, Matt? Anything interesting at the ballpark today so far?
I don't think so. I think there's still a lot
pretty
of
chill.
Yeah, there's still the conversation that started yesterday with Brent Brown. I think that is continuing to somewhat reverberate through.
Oh yeah.
That's the main thing. But yeah, no, nothing overwhelming coming out of today.
I kind of want to pick up on that conversation because we covered it pretty much the whole show yesterday, and it doesn't feel like it covers enough. And I want to take a different angle on it today, too, because so often in baseball when things aren't going well with hitting, people want to blame hitting coaches. And it doesn't matter where you are. It's a St. Louis thing. It's a New York thing. It's a Chicago thing. It happens all over the place. And I understand. To a degree, I understand why. But there were some things that stood out yesterday to me from that conversation that we didn't get into. Like, obviously, it stands out when the hitting coach and the manager are both willing to be critical of a specific player. And they were very critical. And, again, not in a mean way, but more in a casual, observational way of Jordan Walker saying, look, he's got to do more preparation. If he's going to hit in the big leagues, he's got to do the preparation. And that's an indictment of a player. And I don't want to hear about it being a young player because he's got almost 1,000 plate appearances in the big leagues. If he doesn't know what it takes by now, then he should be in Memphis. And that would be a thing where if I'm running the front office, because I'm the big mouth, that would be a that'd be a no deal for me. If you're not going to do the preparation, you can go cool your heels in AAA. I don't care who you are. And I'm interested to talk a bit about this back and forth that we all do, and some of us to a lesser degree, about relationships between hitting coaches and major league players and how all that works. And I thought it was interesting noting yesterday, Matt, that both the manager and the hitting coach, Brant Brown, were kind of talking about the things they present to the players, right?
Right.
Here's the information. Here's how we can do this. But it really, truly, at the major league level, is up to the players to do it. They are not forced to do it. They cannot be forced to do it. You can't say, hey, buddy, getting in the cage, we're jacking it up to 100 today, you're going to get in there. It's not that way. That's not the relationship at the big league level.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the Tommy Tough Guy responses on social media here over the last day about how, these coaches need to, toughen up, like the high school football coach mentality of it.
Turn a table over.
Yeah, and go run laps like that. So that's not how it works in the big leagues, and it just isn't. You can choose to believe me or not believe me, but I'm telling the truth here.
Yeah.
And it's not just a Cardinals thing.
No, it's a Major League Baseball thing.
Yeah, it just doesn't work that way. It never will. Maybe it did at some point, but it's not like that now. So it does. There's a lot of personal responsibility. Guess what?
Yeah.
When you get a Jordan Walker baseball card at the end of the year and you turn it over and it's got a 572 OPS on it, that's on Walker. That is on Jordan Walker.
Yeah. Along these lines, Nick throws in a comment asking, do you think Walker has the mental toughness to make it? I don't think it's a mental toughness thing, Nick, and I'm not trying to pick on you. I think my read on it, and this is based on observation, but also some understanding of how things work with this particular guy. I think it's stubbornness more than anything. And that's not unusual. A lot of players are very attached to the way that they do things because they've been doing them for a long time and they've had nothing but success. And actually, Matt, What do you think about this parallel that just popped into my head? Light bulb just went off over my head.
Ding.
I think what goes wrong with young players sometimes is similar to what went wrong with the Cardinals as an organization. You have a lot of success. You trust what got you that success, and you don't want to change. And yeah. I think it's a very similar dynamic, if I'm being totally honest.
And if you're Jordan Walker and you've had nothing but success for the vast majority of your baseball life, going back to high school and going through
back
the
to when
minors,
he was 8 years old.
Yeah, and you're standing in the batter circle and having an at bat in a Major League Baseball game, and it's a really big moment. What are you naturally going to revert to? The things that you have always done. And it takes a ton of discipline when that stuff isn't working, even though you've had nothing but success with it for years and years and years and years and years. It takes a lot of discipline to be able to go away from that and stay away from that.
Yeah, and this is why you've heard me, and I'm not going to go deep into it again today, but this is why I constantly harp on the criticism of how the Cardinals did things with him years ago. You need to make them uncomfortable when they're young, when they're in A-ball. You need to challenge them when it's there. Don't just let them be comfortable, because that's not helping them. Because what happened was Jordan Walker, and he's not alone. A lot of other guys are the same way. When they're in A-ball, double A even, they're just more talented than the other guys, right? Like Jordan Walker's a freakish talent. He's a super gifted guy, and I think he's a smart guy. I don't think he's a dummy by any means. I think he's smart, but I also think a lot of players are very habit-oriented, and again, they're all successful, so they're headstrong. Almost all successful people are headstrong in some ways, and you have to get through that when the player is younger and not do it at the major league level. That said, that's in the past now. All of the people that were a part of that are out of the organization or heading out of the organization, so that's not really the point now. The point now is we have a player, and it's not just him. There are other players that fit into this too, but he was the example from the show yesterday, that once you get to a certain point where you've been, up and down with the big leagues, where you got almost 1,000 plate appearances, it's time for you to start doing the work on your own and figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin, everything in life, just from like a human condition standpoint, any change that someone makes, there's positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement that go along with it. And each of those things are important. There is the idea of putting somebody in a good position, a good feeling position to prompt some change. That's a good thing, and that should exist. But the negative side of it has to exist as well. And it just, going back to what you said, it feels like the organization has done everything in its power to avoid the negative reinforcement side of things.
With this, and not just with this player. I mean, this play again. Yeah. This is the things that we heard yesterday were not entirely about Jordan Walker. I mean, when Brant Brown was asked again, I think it was by Bernie, about why they're struggling with velocity, they didn't say one guy won't do it.
No.
They were talking about a whole group of hitters that don't tune up the velocity in pregame, that have their ways and they want to do it their way and they're comfortable with their way. But when your way isn't working, I don't care if you're comfortable with it. And that's where, look, again, you can't force players to do it. But that's why I think you're hearing it on the radio, Matt, because you can't force them to do it, and they're probably tired of talking to the wall.
So there was a story, I think it was written in Cardinals Magazine. It might have been Derek Gould or Katie Woo or John Denton, but it was going back to Albert Pujols' final year. And something that Pujols would do is he would train against velocity on the machine, and he would take 2 or 3 steps forward to the machine, because when you're doing that, you have even less time to react because it's a shorter distance.
Yeah.
And the story I remember reading was about Alec Burleson seeing that, thinking how awesome it was, and started applying that to his training regimen. And yeah, it's taken a couple years for Alec Burleson to get where he's at right now, but there's something to be said for Burleson having that attitude of, look what's going on here, look at these other things that I can do to challenge myself and make myself very uncomfortable during my practice, during my training. And going back to what Brown said yesterday, it feels like there's not enough guys who are following that same path.
I got to throw this up there because this is a pet peeve. And Jeremy, I'm not trying to pick on you. But Jeremy throws up a question. Jordan Walker was fine his rookie year. The Cardinals should have just left him alone. Jeremy, the problem is that he's still doing the same things that he was doing then.
Yeah.
Because what happens is the major league pitchers and the other teams figure out what you're good at and what you're not. And when they see what you're not good at, that's all they're going to feed you. And if you don't adapt, if you don't make changes, you get beat. This is not about this is not the problem isn't that they left him alone or that they should have. He hasn't changed his swing. He hasn't changed his approach. The only thing that's changed is teams now know what the book is on him, so they just stick with it. And I mentioned this yesterday. You guys can all look this up. Go to Baseball Savant. It's an awesome tool. You can look at a graph of where the locations where pitchers throw the ball to Jordan Walker the most. And where they throw it to him the most is out of the zone, low and away, and then barely in the zone, low and away. And guess what he does? He swings at it.
Yeah.
And he can't do anything with it. It's not that complicated. Leaving a young player alone isn't going to make them better.
No, there's a million guys who come up from the minor leagues, have this incredibly hot start, and you think you got somebody, and then they cool off and you never see them again. Like that's
or they have to make the adjustment.
Or they make the adjustment. But that's the point. If Jordan Walker can be the exact same guy he was on his first day in the big leagues, and if pitchers are pitching him the way they're pitching him right now, he's not going to have the same success.
Yeah, and if you look at his swing characteristics, it is the same swing. He's changed his position in the box a little bit here and there. He's widened his stance a little bit here and there. But the swing itself is same attack angle, same launch angles, all that kind of stuff. Nothing's really changed in the actual path of the bat, which is the problem. It hasn't changed. That in and of itself is the problem. And the approach hasn't changed, which I think is the bigger of the two. I'm less mechanics. I'm much more about getting good pitches to hit because I trust Ted Williams. He was smart and he knew what he was talking about. That's Matt Pauley. I'm Kevin Wheeler. It's the Redbird Rush Hour. Stick around. We got more of your comments and a little bit more Cardinals baseball leading up to Cardinals baseball here on KMOX.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-506-3355. 800-506-3355. 800-506-3355.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
Attention parents of children who have used the gaming platform known as Roblox. If your child was a victim of sexual abuse or harm of any kind while using the Roblox platform, you may be entitled to compensation. Roblox is facing multiple high-profile lawsuits, including an ongoing class action, alleging it failed to protect users from foreseeable dangers that led to the grooming, exploitation, and sexual abuse of minors on the platform. Claims allege Roblox turned a blind eye to predators, unsafe games, and deceptive monetization practices that targeted children. Victims were contacted through in-game chats and coerced into private conversations on third-party apps. If you believe your child may have been a victim of grooming, sexual abuse, or harm of any kind while using the Roblox platform, you may be entitled to a cash settlement. Text our helpline now to find out if you have a viable compensation claim against Roblox. Text GONE to 32 32 32. That's GONE to 32 32 32. GONE to 32 32 32.
From now on, if you spring a leak, need a water heater, or have hard water,
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Jerry Kelly will fix the leak, install the thing, and make that hard water easy. From the company who's got your whole home covered.
JerryKelly.com. Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
We got stalls creating problems out there. This traffic reports a service at Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing. One of them is a stalled FedEx semi in the right lane westbound 270 before Lilac. It's jammed back across the Chain Rocks Bridge. Another stalled semi downtown eastbound 70 at St. Louis Avenue in the right lane. Traffic's a solid jam at O'Fallon Park. They were clearing a stall. Looks like they may have cleared it, but it was in the left lane south 270 at Big Bend. It's a solid jam back through Olive. Westbound 70 at Cypress, we have an incident. It's jammed back through 170. North 270 on the brakes, approaching Page all the way up to 70. Westbound 364, still pretty heavy from Bennington out through 141. Better after that. Southbound 170, Olive down to 64, backed up. Westbound 64 slow. Kings Highway headed out through Big Bend. And there's heavy traffic from Timberlake to the Boone Bridge after that. It's not as bad. Eastbound 64 from Spady all the way through the Interbelt's heavy. Southbound 55, Arsenal through Bates, the usual delays. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
You're listening to the Redbird Rush Hour on 104.1 KMOX.
All right, it's Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX. Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler hanging out with you till 5:45, and then Matt's got pregame at 5:50 with the first pitch tonight, 6:45. Couple lefties on the mound tonight, Matt. You got Springs on the I almost said the Tampa side because he used to pitch for the Rays.
Yeah.
Springs on the A's side, and obviously Matthew Liberatore for the Cards.
Yeah, I thought Liberatore took a little bit of a step forward in his last start. See if he takes another step forward. You would just absolutely love for Liberatore to finish off the season strong or get back to kind of where he was earlier this year and just take that much more momentum into the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, most of it I think is just like completing the task, right?
Yeah.
And the task for Liberatore right now is continue to make adjustments. Kind of what we were talking about with the younger hitters, right? It's that the league adjusts to you, you need to adjust back, and Liberatore's kind of working through that in his first full year as a starter. It's easier for pitchers to do because they throw the ball, right? Like they initiate the action. They're not reacting to something. But, part of his job, too, is just let's get through the full 6 months, make all of the starts, and push that innings total up so that when you come in next year, you could maybe push that even higher.
Yeah, and then you go into the off season and you go into the season next or the spring training next year, and you're competing for a job. You're right there where you want to be. Not to take a quick left turn, but I just saw something on social media that I thought might be interesting.
All right.
From Cardinals player development, left-hand pitcher Liam Doyle has been transferred from the FCL to Palm Beach, and he is going to pitch for the Palm Beach Cardinals on Saturday. There was a lot of discussion about whether or not we were going to see him in an actual game this year. A lot of times when those college guys are just, taken through the ringer during the college season, you just kind of shut them down. You just let them work at the complex for a while. But he's coming out of the complex league, and evidently he's going to pitch on Saturday.
Good. Well, I mean, I know he threw some heavy workload games like high pitch totals. He only threw like 100 innings. Yeah. So it's not, but I know that you always want to be careful with it, but I'm sure this is just like, hey, let's get him a few looks at the end of the year. I wonder how limited he'll be. Do they let him go, 3 innings? Is it 5 innings? But I'm guessing it's going to be on the short side.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess it's going to be 50, 60 pitches, something like that. Because right now it's about getting you acclimated and recovering from a heavy college workload, which is what it is for most of those big starting pitchers. And then it wouldn't shock me at all, Matt, and this is also maybe a good tester, that if he handles this well, because he's going to low A, I think that's going to be beneath his abilities. I think he's going to blow away low A hitters. That's like facing freshmen in college. I think he's going to be a guy that probably, if he's barring injuries and anything like that, I wouldn't be shocked if he starts next year at Double A like Weatherholt did this year.
Would you maybe take a look at him in the Arizona Fall League?
Yeah, it depends on what the medicals are, right? Like if they don't have any concerns and he's recovering well, I would definitely want him to make at least a few appearances out there. Because when you're pitching out there, when you're starting, you're throwing 2 innings, 3 innings. You're not going out there and throwing, 6-inning outings and throwing 100 pitches. So yeah, I wouldn't mind it at all because for me, anything I can see now can help with the evaluation for next year. And it's again not necessarily big leagues next year, although you wouldn't rule it out later, in the season. But some guys that are picked at that level in the draft are ready pretty quick.
Yeah, I think there's a 50-50 shot he's in the big leagues next year?
At some point, yeah. I wouldn't say opening day is that.
No. I don't. I think it's less than a 5% chance he's in the big leagues to open up the season. But I think he is, especially if he has a lot of success early on, say at AA, if that's where he starts, and he'll be in big league camp, I would assume, next year.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah. There was a discussion.
It may just come down to how much they want him to work, right? They may want to have a certain, they may have him at a cap of next year for throwing it out a number. Let's say they got him capped at 140 next year, 140 innings. Well, they're going to probably pace that out early, slower, and then build toward later.
Sure. And you get the chance to do that because, a lot of these minor league teams go with a 6-man rotation, plus you have the off day each week.
Yep.
So essentially you're pitching once a week.
Yep. And if you want to be more than that, you can find ways to do it. Just adapt. It's easier to control there than it is at the big league level. That's Matt Pauley. I'm Kevin Wheeler. Stick around. We got more to come. A little bit more on the hitting side. More of your questions, comments, opinions. Want to throw them out there? You can do that if you're watching on the stream. But we'll pick things back up with the Redbird Rush Hour after the news here on KMOX.
Missouri, get ready! The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code KMOX to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's code KMOX in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs' attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertisement.
Hey St. Louis, this is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. As a local small business owner for the past 24 years, I always do my best to shop local and support our community. Recently, 2 of the largest tree contractors in the region have sold to out-of-town investment groups. This means that the new owners of these companies are not invested in quality, customer satisfaction, or safety, except for how it affects their bottom line. Timberline Professional Tree Care was founded in 2001 and is focused solely on giving you, the customer, the safest, highest quality product while providing the best customer service before, during, and after the job. I've poured my heart and soul into tree care for the past 24 years and we aren't going anywhere. When it comes time to take care of your trees, I ask that you shop local and call me, Ben Barnett, at Timberline Professional Tree Care, 636-479-7475, or online at stltreecare.com.
Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort, offering small ship experiences with a shore excursion included in every port and programs designed for cultural enrichment. Discover more at Viking.com. That's Viking.com.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
At 5:30, cloudy sky, 83 downtown. After being federally indicted on misdemeanor charge last week, St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery's attempt to fundraise off of that could also be criminal. In a Facebook post, Montgomery is calling for campaign donations to help fight back against his mounting legal troubles. KMOX legal analyst Brad Young says even if Montgomery used a GoFundMe instead of his campaign fund, he has to be careful.
If he set up the GoFundMe account, it would have
ramifications for the same reasons I just outlined, because he's soliciting himself donations for what purports to be a charitable cause to help him with his legal fees.
KMOX is waiting for an official response from a spokesperson for Sheriff Montgomery. With a government shutdown looming at the end of this month, will Democrats take a stand against President Trump's budget? Both sides are arguing about funding for Medicaid, rural hospitals, and foreign aid. Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois.
We have taken a stand, and the stand is for bipartisan negotiation. I'm on the Appropriations Committee. We have successfully passed 8 bills on a bipartisan basis with overwhelming roll calls. Let that be the starting point. If Congress reasserts its constitutional responsibility for funding, does it on a bipartisan basis, we can avoid any crisis.
The oil giant ConocoPhillips is planning to lay off up to a quarter of its workforce, a move first reported by Reuters.
The company says the layoffs are part of a broader effort to cut costs and says it expects the majority of reductions to occur before the end of this year. Some 25% of its employees and contractors will be affected globally, meaning a loss of as many as 3,200 people.
And CBS's Allison Keyes reports ConocoPhillips has already identified more than $1 billion in cost reductions. Correspondent Jim Crisula reports on the latest lottery frenzy.
Someone could win an estimated $1.4 billion in tonight's Powerball lottery jackpot. These women are in the Philadelphia area.
I was here yesterday. We purchased some scratch-offs, and I won over $220. So I was like, come back and get some Powerball tickets and have fun.
I don't know I'm lucky or not, but we're going to find out after the Powerball.
The massive Powerball prize is the 6th largest U.S. lottery jackpot. It's the result of 40 consecutive drawings without anyone matching all of the game's 6 numbers. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
A lot has changed for the English teacher and the gym teacher who announced their engagement on Instagram last week.
Travis Kelce's broken his silence about his engagement to Taylor Swift.
I appreciate everybody that reached out and sent something, and all the posts and all the excitement that's been going on.
But most of all, the groom-to-be says,
it's been really fun telling everybody who I'm going to be spending the rest of my life with.
The Kansas City Chiefs star's comments on his New Heights podcast with his brother, retired Eagle Jason Kelce. Travis says introducing Swift as his fiancée felt like something different, and it still makes him giddy. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Our temperatures have been a little bit warmer today. However, the humidity level is still pretty easy to take. We do have a cold front on the way. It's knocking on the door right now, and there will be some scattered showers and thunderstorms around this evening and overnight. It's not a lot of action, and certainly nothing strong to severe, but temperatures will be in the 70s for evening plans. We'll keep an eye on the sky. It's not a lot to worry about. 56 for the overnight low as the northwest flow comes back. Thursday, partly to mostly sunny skies. However, there will be some clouds to start the day on Thursday, so clearing skies in the morning. Sun is primarily for the afternoon. 75 for the high. That sounds good. Thursday night, clear skies, 62. Friday, partly sunny. Maybe a spot thunderstorm late on Friday, 78. That's a secondary cool front coming by. Friday night, a couple of evening spotty thunderstorms. Don't expect much. Otherwise, a fair amount of clouds around Friday night, 54. The weekend looks delightful. Saturday, sunny and 77. Sunday, sunny and 78. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
It's 83 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Looking for a place to call home without all the maintenance? Check out the Towns of Linneman Park, new townhomes by Lombardo, located in St. Peters. These new construction townhomes are located on the south side of 36494, east of Harvester Road, and offer floor plans featuring 2 to 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a loft, and 2-car attached garages. Community amenities include a clubhouse, pool, pickleball courts, dog park, and walking trails. Tour our newly decorated display and fall in love with your new townhome. Visit lombardohomes.com for more information.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet within 125 miles. We're closer than you think. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2024, see dealer for details.
Fairwinds River's Edge is more than a place to live, it's a place to belong. Come see why we have been voted Best Independent Senior Living Community for 4 years in a row by U.S. News & World Report. We think you'll like it here, and the experts agree. Come see us for yourself. Call to schedule a tour with lunch or to RSVP for our senior prom on September 24th with live entertainment by the Backstreet Cruisers. Find us online at fairwindsriversedge.com.
In the fight against Alzheimer's, now matters more than ever because now we have new treatments that could change everything. This is Megan Lynch. Join me Saturday, October 25th at the Chesterfield Amphitheater for the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's the region's largest fundraiser to fight dementia and support those living with the disease because now is the time for action. You can join in the fight by registering for the walk at alz.org/walk. That's alz.org/walk.
Now through September 1st, the Labor Day sale is going on at Zero Res. 3 rooms for $119, plus a free hallway and $75 off your air ducts. Call 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Brought to you by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. My dad always said, no one gets out of this world alive. Hi, it's Margaret at Eamon Gantner and Capriano. Do you have a will? Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. The choice of an attorney is an important decision that should not be based solely on advertising.
You're listening to the Redbird Rush Hour on 104.1 KMOX.
Just give me that boom, boom, boom. Just give me that boom, boom. Just give me that, boom, boom, boom. Just give me that. I don't care what you got.
All right, you're back in on the Redbird Rush Hour. Matt Pauley and Kevin Wheeler with you here. I just have to read this, Matt. This is not a Cardinals thing, but it's a Cardinals adjacent story. I sent it to you a minute ago. So SNY Mets, that's the TV outlet that covers the Mets, SNY. Ryan Helsley got blown up again today. Gave up 3 earned runs in like 2/3 of an inning. Gave up a home run to Kerry Carpenter. He's had a rough go of it. Since joining the Mets, he's got an 11.45 ERA, which is crazy.
Yeah, he's given up 18 runs. Only 14 of them are earned. So there's 4 unearned runs that don't even go into his ERA.
Yeah, so 11.45 ERA since the trade deadline deal to the Mets. And this is a stunning number that SNY tweeted out. 13.5% of all of the earned runs that Helsley's allowed in his major league career have come as a Met.
That's insane.
He's been a Met for a month.
Yeah.
3.5% of his innings pitched have been with the Mets. So, like, he is in a bad way, and they're just killing the fastball. And this is one of those things, Matt, I don't know if this is player stubbornness or what, but we were talking about it when he was here because his fastball was getting hammered when he was here. He throws the fastball 48% of the time, but teams are slugging 600 against it.
That's pretty good.
And they're hitting 420 against it. His slider, opponents are hitting 133 and slugging 211. Why is he throwing the fastball so much?
He's had a hard time locating the slider lately, hasn't he?
I don't care. They're not hitting it. I mean, they're killing the fastball.
They are.
Just throw anything else. I'm not even kidding you. If I was his manager, I would say, Ryan, today, you cannot throw a fastball. We're treating this like spring training. You can only throw your slider and your curveball for today because I want to see what's going to happen because I know what ain't going to happen. I'm not watching an instant replay of the fastball getting hit out of the ballpark over and over again.
I don't know what they do with him because they're trying to get into the postseason. I mean, they're in a really good spot right now in terms of grabbing that final wild card spot. It doesn't feel like any teams are really challenging him, but you can't put him in a playoff game right now unless you're way down in it.
Yeah, no, you definitely can't do that. Now, you work the rest of the season as much as you can to try to get it right, but that's going to be a challenge. Hey, hang tight. We're going to be finishing up the segment here in a minute. Obviously, we've got pregame coming up at 5:50. First up, though, let's get a look at traffic and see what's going on in downtown St. Louis with Captain Roger Brandt.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, this traffic report's a service of Eamon Gantner and Capriano. We still got our stalled vehicles out there. If you're on eastbound 70 downtown St. Louis Avenue, still that stalled semi in the right lane. Traffic's jammed back to a Fallon Park, and that stalled FedEx semi still in the right lane. Westbound 270 before Lilac, it's jammed back to about the Canal Bridge. We have a crash southbound 170 at Delmar. Only the left lane is open there on southbound 170. It's a solid jam back between Page and Olive. Westbound 70 have an incident at Cypress. I believe that's a crash. Backed up at Hanley. South 270 is a solid jam. Olive down to 64, but it's still slow pockets all the way down to 44 after that. Westbound 64 jam Kings Highway out to Clayton Skinker, and it's slow west of Timberlake all the way to the Boone Bridge, but St. Charles County doing better. 44 from River to Pear out to Elm is a little busy right now as well. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
All right, picking back up on the Redbird Rush Hour. Just a couple more minutes left, and I partly wanted to bring that stuff up, Matt, not to bag on Ryan Helsley. I mean, he's had a great career with the Cardinals, and I'm sure he'll be fine in the future. But it does kind of go to show you that other teams, even good teams, can't always find an answer for players who aren't performing.
Yeah, Mets are super smart team led by a very smart president of baseball operations. I have a lot of respect for what the Mets do. If anything else, hey, give credit to the Cardinals that they got the production that they got out of Helsley, considering because those fastball numbers we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, they were bad when he was here.
Yeah, so the Cardinals did a better job than the Mets at kind of massaging out a way for him to continue to be pretty successful.
Yeah, and it does kind of get back. I don't know. It's interesting. This topic kind of ties back to, the Jordan Walker conversation we opened with about players. You can only give them the instruction. You can only give them the information, and if they want to use it or if they don't want to use it, it's up to them.
Yeah.
Like, I can promise you nobody is telling Ryan Helsley, hey, just keep throwing your fastball right down the middle and letting people hit it. I can promise you no coach is telling him that. But guys get stubborn. I'm sure the guy, and here's the crazy thing. He still has one of the 5 best fastballs in the sport in terms of velo.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of the hardest throwers in the game. 99th percentile, man. It means there's like maybe 5-6 guys that throw harder than him on average. He's 99.5 miles an hour on average.
So this is where I hate this conversation, because I know there's people that are listening right now that are going, see, I told you, velocity, you can, if you throw pitches that you locate and if you throw pitches that have moved, like, no, velocity is still the thing that is most impactful. It just so happens that Helsley is not using his velocity well.
Look at his numbers and look at what he did when he was here. If he was throwing 92, he would not be here. He would have gotten hit worse.
Yes.
Yeah, the only reason he's even, I mean, like, if he didn't throw 99.5, he wouldn't be able to be in the big leagues with the way that fastball is performing, because it would be, the more you go down in velo. And now, don't get me wrong, his problem is that he doesn't put the pitch where he wants to. He can't command his fastball. He doesn't hit, thirds of the strike zone or quarters of the strike zone. He throws everything basically down the middle, and you can look it up. You can see where the pitch congregates. It's all middle, and middle is going to get hit even at 100 miles an hour, and not all the time, but certainly we've seen him get hit quite a bit that way. All right, buddy, have a good pregame show. I know we're wrapping up here, so have a good night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Matt Pauley's got your pregame. You got the Cardinals and the A's kicking things off at 6:45 on KMOX.
Are you ready for thunderstorm and tornado?